Hello everyone, I hope you guys are having a good August 9th. It is Sunday, of course. And today we're going to be talking about the severe weather once again. Yeah, so I'm sorry I have not been posting. I think I haven't posted a video in like 5 days. That's because I started school Wednesday and I've been trying to get a schedule going, which I'm going to start posting videos probably every day. Maybe I'll probably post videos 5 days a week. Some days there's going to be 2 videos because I'm bringing back Georgia forecast, I did that in December a little bit, but I'm not doing it every day. I'm doing it every like 2 to 3 days, and so I'm going to make a schedule for that. The first one will be coming out today, so that's kind of exciting. I'm excited to do that again. So today we have a slight risk for severe weather. It takes up the whole state of Minnesota, a lot of northwestern Wisconsin, western UP and Michigan, northern Iowa, eastern South Dakota, and eastern North Dakota. We have a marginal risk going down to northwestern Kansas and a marginal risk going down to southern Illinois almost. So large area we're going to be looking at for severe weather today. Areas like Minneapolis, you're in that slight risk. Fargo, you're in it. Grand Forks, you're in it. I think that's the major cities in the slight risk. St. Paul, Minnesota, Sioux Falls, South Dakota, yeah. Fargo, and Chicago, you're in the marginal risk. Des Moines, you're in the marginal risk. Omaha, you're kind of on the edge of it. So today in the slight risk, we have over almost 8 million people in the slight risk today, and 21 million people in the marginal risk. So a lot of people are going to be under the threat today for severe weather. 2% tour risk today for areas like Wisconsin, a good amount of Minnesota, eastern North Dakota, eastern South Dakota. We have that 2% risk. Wind threat 15% and hail threat 15%, especially on the western side of it, where we could see the storm start off at and produce hail. Now, day 2. So what's causing this is we have a system up in Canada. We have a low pressure system. Pretty much, it's in central Canada. Cold front coming down. That's what's going to be producing the severe weather tomorrow and today. It's going to be worse today, but tomorrow we could have a marginal risk in areas like Oklahoma, all the way up to Michigan. So pretty long marginal risk. And then on day 3, if it's Tuesday, we just have 2 marginals. So nothing big Tuesday. We'll have to see if that changes though. Now, let's start looking at the models. So this is the NAM model. We're going to be looking at dew points. We're going to look at some severe weather ingredients today. Not everything we can look at. I still have stuff to do today. So you see we have southerly winds bringing a lot of moisture all the way up into the Midwest and the northern plains. Dew points per these purple colors, these are 70-degree dew points. So we have really good moisture going all the way up into the Midwest. In northern Minnesota, those are upper 60s. You can see 68. So that's pretty good news for severe weather. It's really good. So we got plenty of moisture for severe weather today. Now let's look at some of the ingredients now. Let's look at lapse rates. See what those are doing. All right, so today we have lapse rates. So this afternoon we have good lapse rates. We have lapse rates of 8. In a lot of areas, 7.5 to around 8. So that's why we have a 15% hail threat. That's kind of contributing to it. I think we're going to be. I think we're going to be seeing a good hail threat in that area. But we have really good lapses today. 8 is pretty good for the Midwest. And then tomorrow, what we're looking at is we have actually really good lapse rates for that marginal risk. We have 9 lapse rates in northern Illinois. That's pretty significant. And let's look at mixed layer CAPE. All right, so this afternoon we have really good CAPE actually. We have CAPE of around 5,000 making its way into southern Minnesota. I do see why there's not really a hail threat in northeastern Minnesota. CAPE and lapses are pretty low up there, but I do think there's going to be a wind threat. That's why there's a slight risk. But we have really good CAPE in this area here. So this is the area to watch for severe weather today. We have really good CAPE in that area for organized severe weather. Let's look at the LCL heights now. See what those are at. All right, so LCL is later. LCL heights. What you want to see is an LCL height of lower than 1,500. This can kind of tell you what your tornado activity is going to be like. Now, behind the front, you can see our low pressure system is kind of up in Canada. Wait, crap. The weather is hard to use sometimes. Alright, so our cold front is kind of making the lap splits go higher behind. That's going to prohibit any development probably in the mountains, the Rockies. But I do think that, yeah, this is going to be our area to watch today, our slight risk. LCL heights, they're pretty good. Well, lower than 1,000 in most spots. Let's look at the surface-based lifted index. Alright, so lifted index later. Pretty good. Look at this. We have numbers of negative 15 degrees Celsius in southern Minnesota. That's some of the highest I've ever seen on lifted index. We see we have good lift pretty much in this area. Really good lift. And yeah, we're likely going to be seeing a lot of organized severe storms. I just think areas of the south are going to be stuck in a general thunderstorm, or not general. It's going to be kind of a general thunderstorm pattern, pulse storms, the normal summer weather. Some of which could go severe, but it's not really enough for a marginal risk. It's not organized severe weather. It's not organized. This is where the organized activity is going to be along the jet stream. But yeah, we see negative 15. It's really good numbers. Now let's look at storm relative helicity, 0 to 3 kilometer. Alright, so helicity today peaks in Minnesota. We have areas in Minnesota of around 400. That's really good. We have widespread numbers of 200 to 400. So that's good helicity for severe weather. So I do think it's hard to say, but I think today probably has a 50-50 chance of going enhanced. So at the 12:30 or at the 16:30 Z update, which is in about 30 minutes, when I'm posting this, probably when this gets uploaded, it's gonna already have happened. But they could issue an enhanced risk. Now, where I think they would issue it would probably be in this area, generally, but we'll have to see. I give it a 50-50 chance. Now, let's look at what the models are saying what could happen this afternoon. This is the NAM 3-kilometer model. You can see by this afternoon, we don't really have any. We can see we have some showers going on in Minnesota. Now, if this moves out and it can clear out, this could prohibit severe weather activity, these general showers. But if they clear out fast enough and there's enough sunshine and CAPE can build up, and because we're seeing some good severe weather in that region. As we go later, we see along the cold front in North Dakota, we have some nice storms that fire up. We even might have some supercells in northern Wisconsin, right there in front of the front. We have some interesting cells. As we go later, we can see it looks like we might be having a 2-front scenario where we have 2 cold fronts. But you can see we have good. We have kind of maybe some isolated storms along this first front tonight, and we have the stronger storms along the second boundary later tonight. This is probably going to be mainly a wind threat and some large hail probably. And as we go later, we have just a bunch of line segments as we go into the night. We have one line segment going through UP and Michigan, one going through northern Wisconsin into Minnesota. Minneapolis are getting hit at around 10 p.m. And we have one going into northern Illinois. There's that, and then we go later. This is around 1 a.m. We see that dives south into central Illinois. R1 in Wisconsin seems to be weakening, but it's still there. Probably still producing some damaging winds. And they kind of fizzle out. And then let's look at what happens tomorrow. And tomorrow we see this. I think tomorrow could probably go slight risk. I think the SPC is probably going to issue a slight risk for tomorrow because it's looking decent tomorrow. We have good CAPE. We have a lot of good severe weather ingredients tomorrow. I don't think tornado threat's going to be high, but I think we could be seeing a damaging wind threat, maybe a slight hail threat. So yeah, now let's look at another model for today. Let's look at the HRR model. Alright, is this the latest run? Nope. Let's get the latest one. Alright, so yeah, so this HRR model it kind of says we're going to have the second boundary too. But it also, both the HRR model and the NAM model are saying that we're going to have strong storm surges like Fargo at around 4, probably I'd say 3 to 6 p.m. for Fargo and Grand Forks. You can see pretty strong storms going through, likely some large hail and damaging winds. And so yeah, we see that. Yeah, it's the HRR model. Let's go back and look at what the HRR model was saying for later today. So we got to go back to the 12Z because the 12Z goes out for a few more hours. You can see it says pretty much just a similar things, but it doesn't have those little line segments diving down into this area. It just has them sticking up north. But it has some thunderstorm development in western Illinois. I'm just have to see if that does happen. I'd say this area has not gone slight down here because of model uncertainty, but I think this area could potentially be looking at an enhanced risk. I give it a 50-50 chance, like I said earlier. Yeah, that'll wrap up this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please subscribe, and I will be back tomorrow.